everyone and welcome. Today I am going to be making some of the letter keychains, and I'm going to be using nail foils to put on them. I apologize, I forgot to record me actually making these, but I used the Color Passion Serendipity pigment paste. And I made more letters than this, but my lovely children got them, and I have to find them. But basically, I just made up, I forget how much resin I made up, and I poured into my mold. Let it set for 24 hours before removing them. And now I am going to go ahead and add my nail foils. And for it, I have some nail foil glue, or you can use UV resin as well. And then I have my UV light to cure it. And then I have a bunch of different like nail foils. I went ahead and cut some to size. Like I have like Hello Kitty and Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse and just a bunch of different patterns and designs. And you'll need like something like this to kind of like, once you put your glue on, to smooth all the air bubbles out so that way it sticks really good to your letter. And then after I do all of that and get them on there, I will put them in the light for at least 90 seconds until it's cured. And then if there's any extra, like I can't talk. And then if there's like any of the foil hanging off the edges or something, I'll trim it off. And then I will do a top coat of resin to seal it. And I'm going to apologize now. My craft room is back where the furnace is, and you'll hear the air conditioner kicking on and off, so I apologize for that. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we will start, we'll do R first, I guess. Make sure it's good and clean, because I know my kids have handled it. Make sure they didn't get anything on it. Looks good. Okay, let's see, what do we want to use on there? I'll look in a minute and see. But you'll just put this on like you would regular like nail polish. It does have a smell, I will say that. And you don't need a whole lot, just enough to cover your letter with a nice layer. I'm just trying to make sure I get it on there good, so I don't miss any spots. Get some of this excess off. I kind of put a little too much on there. Okay. So what one do I want to put on here? So we will do let's see, we'll do Mickey Mouse. Sorry if my head's in the way, I just gotta line it up a little better here. Alright, so now I'm gonna make sure there is no air bubbles in here. Okay. Now, if there's like any empty spaces that's like not got anything on it, if you wanted to, you could always do a second layer. There we go. Okay, so now that that's cured, you just take this and peel it off, and it will stick to your letter like that. And that is what you end up with. I thought it was cute. Okay, my camera turned off. Hopefully you didn't miss too much. I apologize. I'm just trying to line this up the best I can because my A is a little wider than the nail foil. If I have to, I can add something on the end there with the excess. Okay, pull that out and pop that in. There we go. Okay, let's pull our J off here. Okay. And that is what our J looks like. I think it's pretty. I'm going to pop it in there with the A. Uh-oh. There we go. So here's what we have so far. Oops. Okay. So we just gotta wait on these, and then I will be moving on to the next step. Actually, while we're waiting on that, I'll go ahead and do this. So I've seen that there is some excess around here, so I'm going to run my knife along that and try to get rid of that before I do my top coat. And I think a lot of it is the glue. And a little bit of the foil is hanging over right there. But I don't want to pull it and mess it up and accidentally pull it off the top of my letter, so I'm just trying to run my blade along it. I think I'm going to use UV resin next time, because this stuff, even though I have had it under the light for like at the bare minimum 3 minutes, some of them were like 6 minutes almost, it's still like sticky, and I'm hoping that my resin is going to cure when I do a top coat in those areas. I don't know. I might try putting it under the light for longer, maybe. See if it helps any at all. Okay, that's better than it was at least. Make sure there's no others. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull my J out, check it. Looks fine. Yeah, it looks okay. Okay, now for our A. Pull that out and check it. There it is. Looks like I got a line in it though. Hopefully I can hide it with the top coat. I'm sorry guys, my battery ended up dying and I didn't get to film the rest of that. I've been having issues with my camera and the battery. My battery is not really holding charge for very long, and I think it's honestly because of it being older. And then my camera will only let me record for like 30 minutes and then it'll stop recording. I'm not sure if it's like a settings issue or if that's just how longer you can record. I do know it has nothing to do with my memory card, because my memory card might be a quarter of the way full. So there's plenty of space. But anywho, this part did not have any sound. I'm not exactly sure what happened, so I just decided to do a voiceover for it. I stopped recording this for the half before this. I stopped recording it at the end of August because I kept trying to go into labor, but I wasn't due until like September 27th, the end of September. I just ended up I took time off and was just resting and taking it easy, and plus I didn't want to expose the baby to resin too much. So I really only messed with resin twice during my pregnancy, and this was the second time. I was able to keep her in until September 25th, and then I started recording again when I was around 3 to 4 weeks postpartum, so it's about 3 to 4 weeks postpartum here. And I am using J-Addiction Fast Cure resin, and I mixed up around an ounce and a half of it, which, by the way, there is a 10% coupon for J-Addiction down in the description. It's for their website. It's a 10% off coupon. And then I also have a Into Resin coupon that's for 20% off, and I'll also put it down in the description as well. And then you want to make sure you mix this well. I usually will mix for at least 3 or 4 minutes, and I scrape the sides and bottoms and scrape off my stir stick multiple times throughout throughout the mixing process. And then to apply the resin, I was using my stir stick and a silicone tool, and I was making sure to get it all the way to the edges without pushing the resin over the edge. And then I am also going to apologize because I keep getting my big head in the way throughout this. I also ended up speeding up this video some because I am really, really slow, because I keep trying to get everything perfect, which is impossible. I know it is when working with resin, and this is something that I've really struggled with and have ended up wasting a lot of resin because of it. I've ran out of work time with it, and it would end up curing before I could get it out. And it's because it really bugs me when it doesn't go how I want, and I'm trying to let it go, because resin does what resin wants to, and it doesn't matter how much time you set and fool with it, it's still going to do what it wants. And I keep trying to get that in my head, but like I said, it just really bugs the crap out of me. But once everything was covered, so I thought everything was covered, I ended up missing the 2 bottom corners on the outer edges of the letter A. But once I got everything covered, I put what resin I had left in my little cup mold, and I always put all my extra resin in there, and it ends up making a cup, and I usually use it for storage for like my pens and markers and pencils and paintbrushes. And honestly, you can never have too many of those. I didn't do it on the video, but I torched them, and then I also used alcohol and sprayed it to pop the bubbles, and I watched them for a while, making sure to get all the bubbles popped, and then I covered them and left them set until the next day. Here I put a piece of tape on the top of my letter, and I'm using my drill to drill through it so that I have a hole for the eye screw. I've noticed that your hole is cleaner if you use a piece of tape. And then once I get the hole drilled, I end up putting the eye screw in, and I will connect the keychains to it. And then I end up putting a little charm on the letter L, but I didn't do the rest of them. I honestly was just done with them by then. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time, and check out my coupon codes in the description.